Our position must be clear. I am ordering that we discontinue purchasing of any oil from Iran for delivery to this country.
Indeed, we have bitter and enduring disagreements that persist today. At the heart of our quarrel has been Iran's past sponsorship of international terrorism.
We can't have normalized relations with a state that's branded a terrorist state.
I am formally announcing my intention to cut off all trade and investment with Iran.
We will never back down, we will never give in, and we will never accept anything less than complete victory.
I'm pleased to sign into law the toughest sanctions against Iran ever passed by the United States Congress.
If Iran threatens us in any way, they will pay a price like few countries have ever paid.
Well, first of all, Iran isn't Iraq. Iraq was a nation that was militarily defeated in 1991 during Operation Desert Storm. Yeah. And its military was never permitted to rebuild in any meaningful fashion because of economic sanctions. So when we went to war with Iraq in 2003, we were fighting literally a paper tiger, a military incapable of sustained, credible defense. And that's why it was a cakewalk. It was always going to be a cakewalk.
ایران دهه هاست که خود را آماده جنگ با آمریکا می کند و تا میزان زیادی که حتی شاید در غرب هم بی سابقه باشد روی تسلیحات آمریکایی مطالعه کرده است. ایران نمونه‌های سالم از موشک‌های کروز آمریکایی را که از میدان جنگ در سوریه، عراق و افغانستان جمع آوری شده است در اختیار دارد. روسیه اطلاعات راداری و الکترونیک خود را درباره موشک‌های کروز آمریکایی با ایران به اشتراک گذاشته است و پدافند هوایی ایران آماده درگیری است. همچنین ایران با دقت عملیات‌های هوایی آمریکا در افغانستان، عراق و سوریه را زیر نظر دارد و اطلاعاتی دقیق و کامل درباره جنگنده‌ها و هواپیماهای آمریکایی و مهمات مورد استفاده آنها جمع آوری کرده است.
They also looked at how Hezbollah defended itself against the Israelis in July and August of 2006, when Hezbollah survived what was supposed to be their annihilation.
ایران در پشت پرده مقاومت موفقیت آمیز حزب الله در برابر اسرائیل در آگوست 2006 قرار داشت و همه چیز نشان از این دارد که برنامه پدافندی ایران برای به داخل کشاندن نیروهای دشمن به اعماق سرزمینش و سپس قطع ارتباط و نابودیشان طراحی شده است.
Iran has not been defeated in a war. Its military is very, very robust. Not only that, the Iranians are very smart, very intelligent people, and they have looked at how the United States has been operating in the region now for nearly 2 decades, and they've learned all the lessons.
ایران می‌تواند کشتی‌های جنگی آمریکا را غرق و جنگنده‌های آمریکایی را ساقط کند و پایگاه‌های هوایی را که از عملیات‌های هوایی پشتیبانی می‌کنند از بین ببرد. شبه نظامیان مورد حمایت ایران در سوریه و عراق می‌توانند خیلی ساده پایگاه‌های نظامی آمریکا در این دو کشور را اشغال و پادگان‌هایی را که در این پایگاه‌ها واقع شده است نابود کنند.
I believe that Iran has right on its side in terms of objecting to American muscle flexing in the Persian Gulf, but the notion that they're a bunch of school marms sitting back drinking tea while America does nefarious things is absurd. Iran has been preparing for 2+ decades to fight a war it doesn't want to fight, but one that it doesn't plan on losing.
We can't destroy Iran. We don't, short of thermonuclear warfare, we lack the military capacity to defeat Iran. We can damage Iran, we can harm Iran, but we cannot compel their surrender. We cannot overthrow the regime. And we don't have the military force to physically occupy Iran. We simply don't have the military capacity to do anything more than maybe seize a coastal city. And even then, that's a questionable objective. So now what? Air power. back when I was in the military, you've seen the movie Top Gun.
Yeah.
Hey, we were training to fight dog fights. We were training to operate in a heavy air defense saturated environment. What have we been doing for the last 20 years? Flying freely in the skies without any threat, dropping bombs on anything we want. One of the reasons why drone wars are so popular is that there's no threat to the drone. It can just loiter. Try loitering a drone. Wait a minute, we tried that over Iran, and you know what they did? Because they've been watching us, the Beast of Kandahar, that top secret stealth drone, the Iranians hacked into it, took control of it, flew it and landed it on their soil, reverse engineered it, and today they have hundreds of clones of America's most sensitive drone operating under the Iranian flag. So, no, operating our air forces over Iran is a completely different ballgame.
تهاجم هوایی ایالات متحده منجر به شکست نیروهای نظامی ایران نخواهد شد، چرا که آنان نه تنها از خاک ایران دفاع خواهند کرد، بلکه به نیروهای آمریکایی در خلیج فارس و همچنین اهداف نظامی و صنعتی از جمله زیرساخت‌های نفت و گاز هر کشوری که به آمریکا کمک نظامی برساند حمله خواهند کرد.
They said we're going to continue to back the government of Syria because it's been a close ally to us. It's a secular regime that engenders stability in an otherwise destabilized region. They said that we want to have peace and stability in Afghanistan, and that can best be accomplished by getting American troops out of Afghanistan. They said that we will support the Houthi in Yemen in resisting a Saudi-led invasion of their country. The Houthis didn't invade Saudi Arabia. It was the other way around. Saudi Arabia invaded Yemen, and the Iranians are providing support for that. So, yes, there is truth that Iran is a player in the region, but to call it malign is to be ignorant of the realities of the region. It might be malign insofar as it is in opposition to American policy objectives, but since most American policy objectives in the Middle East are either corrupt or in support of corrupt regimes, one has a hard time articulating that the Iranians are the bad guys.
$533 million.
Iran is a very, very, very capable nation, which has performed extraordinarily well in terms of leveraging its influence over the region and its capabilities. I think what we saw with the Houthi drone strike against Saudi oil pumping facilities, keep in mind that the drones that were used are Iranian drones, and that the Yemenis are trained by the Iranians.
حملات پهپادی حوثی‌ها به ایستگاه‌های پمپاژ نفت عربستان نشان داد که همه زیرساخت‌های تولید نفت در منطقه آسیب پذیر و در معرض خطر هستند. بدین ترتیب هر گونه اقدام نظامی علیه ایران منجر به توقف تقریباً کامل صادرات نفت از کشورهای عربی حاشیه خلیج فارس خواهد شد که تأثیر ویرانگری بر اقتصاد آمریکا، اروپا و باقی کشورهای جهان خواهد داشت.
There was a signal being sent to everybody, don't push us too far because we will dominate you like you've never been dominated before. No ship is safe. We will sink everything. Nothing will transit through the Strait of Hormuz. This was the signal the Iranians are sending. That was 7 drones. We shut you down. Iran has thousands of drones. The distances flown from Yemen to the oil pumping stations are significant distances that could easily be flown out of bases in Iran or Syria or Iraq or other places where the Revolutionary Guard has pre-deployed these drones. And the drones are the least of the Iranian capabilities.
بزرگترین تهدیدی که نیروهای آمریکایی حاضر در منطقه با آن روبرو می‌شوند از جانب موشک‌های بالستیک ایران خواهد بود.
They have a significant ballistic missile force that is extraordinarily capable of targeting American naval vessels, sinking American aircraft carriers, destroying American airfields.
ناوهای هواپیمابر آمریکا تحت شرایط متشنج عملیات خواهند کرد که اثرگذاریشان کاهش می‌یابد و پایگاه‌های هوایی آمریکا در منطقه نیز تحت حملات تقریباً متداوم موشک‌های بالستیک ایران قرار خواهد گرفت. در نتیجه این پایگاه‌ها یا بسته خواهند شد یا از تاثیرگذاری آنها کاسته می‌شوند.
You know those 4 B-52s we just flew into Al-Udeid in Qatar, they're dead. The aircraft carrier that we want to sail into the Persian Gulf, it will be sunk. It's just absurd for the United States to think that it can operate independently as it has in the past.
نیروی دریایی آمریکا قادر به انجام عملیات‌های ورود اجباری در ابعاد وسیع نیست مگر در موارد خاص. هر گونه تلاشی برای پیاده‌سازی سربازان نیروی دریایی در سواحل ایران به مثابه خودکشی است.
And imagine the humiliation of the United States, Donald Trump's great military, when we lose an aircraft carrier, when we lose naval ships, when thousands of American sailors are dead, when the Marines seek to land in Chabahar or Bandar Abbas and find that we have 5,000 Marines cut off, surrounded with no way to escape and forced to surrender. What is the United States going to do then?
در نهایت اینکه آسیب پذیری ناوگروه USS آبراهام لینکلن تنها قسمتی از مشکل بزرگتر آمریکا برای به نمایش گذاشتن قدرت نظامی خود در منطقه است. تهدید و خطری که از جانب قدرت نظامی ایران وجود دارد شبیه به هیچ کدام از دشمنانی که آمریکا پس از پایان جنگ سرد با آنها مواجه شده است نیست.
And this is why this is a dangerous game, because we come back to my belief that Donald Trump doesn't really want a war with Iran, but if you push this situation to the brink, these situations have a way of taking on a life of their own, and we will get a war regardless of whether or not that was our intent or not. And if we get that war, it will be one that we will not win, we being the United States.
What I learned is it doesn't matter if you're speaking truth. It doesn't matter if you have the facts. If the message is inconvenient to the larger objective, they will attack you. They will destroy you. They will demean you. They will do anything other than deal with the issue at hand.
My name is Scott Ritter. I'm a former Marine Corps intelligence officer and a weapons inspector with the United Nations in Iraq.
گزارشی از اسکات ریتر، افسر سابق اطلاعات تفنگداران دریایی آمریکا و سربازرس تسلیحات کمیسیون ویژه سازمان ملل متحد در جنگ عراق.
It's not just the inspection work that we were doing. I was responsible for the intelligence aspect of it in addition to the operational aspect, which means that I was the focal point of receiving all the information from the intelligence services around the world, the CIA, the NSA, MI6, Mossad, etc. So I was uniquely empowered with information.
You were hearing it all.
I heard pretty much it all.